This is Dr. Lisa. I'm going to discuss some topics in the book Harrison's Principles of Internal Medicine, 20th edition. I hope this benefits medical students. Okay, and this is also a way on how to determine if medical students still have time to do some YouTube browsing. Yeah, who would expect that there is something that they can benefit in a YouTube world? Yeah, who would expect that there would be a discussion of a medical topic here? Well, as what I've said, this is a debut for me. This is a trial on whether some medically inclined people are interested to listen to this recording. Okay, so now I am going to discuss something about hormones, that's endocrinology. This is actually just a small reading. Yeah, it's not that long, just a portion. Yeah, and in the future I may have a chance to elaborate and discuss with depth on these topics. And it depends on the turnout of our campaign here. Yeah, I'll be doing an online discussion and something like a lecture. That's how it is. Okay, so this is functions of hormones. Okay, the functions of individual hormones are described in detail in subsequent chapters of this book. Okay, nevertheless, it is useful to illustrate how most biologic responses require integration of several different hormone pathways. Okay, the physiologic functions of hormones can be divided into three general areas. So, hormones have physiologic functions, and they are divided into three areas. Number one, growth and differentiation. Number two, maintenance of homeostasis. And three, reproduction. So you heard it right. The physiologic functions of hormones are for growth and differentiation, for maintenance of homeostasis, and reproduction. Simply for growth, homeostasis, and reproduction. Okay? So I'm going to discuss a little about growth here. Okay, growth. Multiple hormones and nutritional factors mediate the complex phenomenon of growth. So there are factors that mediate the phenomenon of growth, and yeah, these are hormones and nutritional factors. Okay, short stature. Yeah, short stature, I repeat, may be caused by growth hormone deficiency. So when you're short, it could be due to a growth hormone deficiency. And also may be caused by hypothyroidism, Cushing's syndrome, precocious puberty, malnutrition, chronic illness, or genetic abnormalities that affect the epiphyseal growth plates. Again, when someone is short, okay, in stature, the causes may be because of growth hormone deficiency, hypothyroidism, Cushing's syndrome, precocious puberty, malnutrition, chronic illness, or genetic abnormalities that affect the epiphyseal growth plates. You see, the epiphyseal growth plates are the one that are responsible for the lengthening of our and length of our body. Okay, for example, it states here FGFR3 and SHOX mutations. So they're further discussed deeply later. Many factors lead to stimulate growth, whereas others lead to epiphyseal closure. So what are those factors that stimulate growth? So those are growth hormone, IGF-1, and then thyroid hormones. So these three are important in stimulating growth. Again, growth hormone, IGF-1, and thyroid hormones. And others lead to epiphyseal closure. What are these? These are sex steroids. Okay, androgen, estrogen, something like that. Okay. Anyway, so it's important to pay attention to these factors. Understanding these hormonal interactions is important in the diagnosis and management of growth disorders. Obviously. For example, delaying exposure to high levels of sex steroids may enhance the efficacy of growth hormone treatment. So how do you delay exposure to high levels of sex steroids is a question. Okay, the second physiologic function of hormones is maintenance of homeostasis. Although virtually all hormones affect homeostasis, the most important among them are the following. There are 6. Okay, take note. Most important hormones that affect homeostasis are the following: thyroid, cortisol, parathyroid hormone or PTH, vasopressin, mineralocorticoids, and insulin. Okay, again, thyroid, cortisol, PTH, vasopressin, mineralocorticoid, and insulin. As when I study during medical school, I usually put some acronyms so that I'll easily remember what I am reading. And for this one, I think we could just get the initial letters for these hormones. TCP, VMI. TCP, VMI. Thyroid, cortisol, parathyroid hormone, vasopressin, mineralocorticoids, and insulin. Okay, TCP, VMI. Those are hormones that affect homeostasis in the body. Okay, let's discuss each one in brief. What does thyroid hormone do? So thyroid hormone, it controls about 25% of basal metabolism in most tissues. So for the basal metabolism, what is responsible is thyroid hormone, 25% of that. And again, the other one is cortisol. What does it do? It exerts hormones in addition to its own direct effects. So cortisol has direct effects, we all know that, but then it is also having a permissive action for other hormones. Okay, let's go to PTH, which is parathyroid hormone. This hormone regulates 2 substances or elements. These are calcium and phosphorus levels. So again, calcium and phosphorus depend on parathyroid hormone for regulation. Okay, so whether this is elevated, then it has an effect on calcium and also on phosphorus. Okay, so if you have low or high numbers or values for calcium and phosphorus, better check PTH first, or check the status of the patient, whether he or she has a problem in the parathyroid gland. Okay, the next is vasopressin. This vasopressin hormone regulates serum osmolality by how? Again, it regulates serum osmolality. How? By controlling renal free water clearance. So there is free water clearance in the kidney, and vasopressin acts on this clearance, thereby regulating serum osmolality. Okay. The next, in diuresis, in overdiuresis, or hypovolemia, something like that. Okay, let's go to mineralocorticoids. These hormones control vascular volume and serum electrolyte concentrations, that of sodium and potassium. So the mineralocorticoid hormones are the ones that control vascular volume. Vascular volume, yeah. So when you say sodium and potassium, this is being controlled by mineralocorticoids, and also the volume of fluid in the vessels. Okay. And the last one is insulin. Insulin maintains euglycemia in the fed and fasted states. So what is this? Whether you are eating or not, then that's the function of insulin. What does it do is it has to maintain the level of glucose in the tissues, whether you are eating or you are fasting. So it is adjusting itself. Okay, so this discussion